My name is Virginia. Standing in the middle of my brother's once lively apartment, now filled with silence and tension, I can still hear the echoes of the chaos that erupted just hours ago. The room was a mess, with half-empty champagne glasses and untouched catering trays scattered everywhere. The congratulations, balloons that once floated cheerfully, now seemed to mock the situation. My father, David, a former stockbroker with a silver tongue and a knack for getting his way, was just arrested by the police right in front of 45 guests. It was his bright idea to help my brother, Lucas, who fancied himself a real estate whiz but had a string of failed investments. My mother, Emily, a devout follower of the family first mantra, was sobbing uncontrollably against the wall. Lucas stood there, frozen, holding a champagne glass, his success party turning into a nightmare. How did we end up here? It all started in a seemingly normal family. I grew up in Seattle in a well-off upper-middle-class household. My parents always emphasized family unity, but there was an obvious bias. From a young age, I was the responsible one. I got into a top-tier university with a full scholarship and landed a stable job at a tech startup. Meanwhile, Lucas was always the center of attention, with my parents constantly believing in his potential. When I was 18, my father convinced me to add him as a co-owner of my savings account. Just in case of an emergency, he said, with that reassuring tone he always used. I never suspected a thing. Over the years, I was constantly asked to help out. When the family yacht needed repairs, I transferred money. When Lucas' business ventures failed and he needed tuition for a new course, I covered it. By the end of 10 years, I'd given away over $90,000. And what did I get in return? Just a pat on the back and the phrase, "You have a good job." Family helps family. I had a dream, though. I wanted a small beach house in the suburbs of Seattle, a place to call my own after years of hard work. I started saving seriously at 25. I lived frugally, skipped vacations, and worked extra hours. After 8 long years, I had saved up $142,000. I was so close to making an offer on my dream house. Then, my father's 65th birthday party happened. It was a grand event at our family mansion. Everyone was there, dressed in their finest. My father gave a speech about family values, and Lucas was introduced as the next big thing in real estate. But I noticed the way my father and Lucas kept whispering to each other, looking at me with a strange look. My aunt, Lucy, my father's older sister, pulled me aside. "Virginia, you've given enough. Be careful," she said. I just laughed it off. 3 days later, I was at work when I got an email notification from the bank. It was a transaction confirmation. I opened my banking app and my heart dropped. My savings account balance was 0. I called the bank in a panic. The representative told me that the transfer was authorized by my father. When I confronted him, he was cold and calm. Lucas was in trouble. He owed the bank a fortune, and he needed a fresh start, he said. "You have a good job. You can earn it back." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I knew then that I had to take action. I called my friend, Tom, a lawyer who specialized in financial fraud cases. He told me that it could be a felony, including bank fraud and identity theft. I also asked a colleague, Lisa, who was an expert in digital forensics, to look into the electronic signature on the transfer. She found that the signature was forged on my father's computer in the middle of the night. I gave my father 24 hours to return the money. When he didn't, I filed a police report. The family backlash was immediate. My mother called me hysterical, saying I was ruining the family. Lucas texted me that I was dead to him. Relatives I hadn't spoken to in years called to scold me. But then I saw the Facebook post. Lucas was having a house-warming party for a new luxury apartment in the city. The apartment was worth around $450,000, and I knew where the down payment came from. I decided that I wanted the truth to be out in the open. I coordinated with the detective to have my father arrested at the party. And that's how we ended up here. As the police led my father away, the shocked guests started to leave one by one. My mother was in denial, and Lucas had nothing to say for himself. Uncle Robert, who had flown in from New York for the party, was furious. He took the evidence I showed him and said he was done with my father. In the end, my father pleaded guilty to the charges. He got 18 months of probation, had to do 200 hours of community service, and return the stolen money. Lucas had to sell his apartment at a loss, and his real estate dreams were shattered. My mother retreated into herself, and most of the extended family distanced themselves from us. But I finally got my beach house. It's not exactly the one I originally dreamed of, but it's mine. Aunt Lucy has been my rock throughout this whole ordeal. She once told me that she had a similar experience with our grandmother, but she never had the courage to fight back. She's proud of me for standing up for myself. I've learned that setting boundaries is not a betrayal. Real family doesn't take advantage of you. And for the first time in my life, I'm truly living for myself.